Hey, how are you? Wanted to do a show tonight on something that's kind of got me very concerned with. And again, I know me and Cynthia started out doing a show for women, and we still do. We will talk about important topics and stuff for women. But a lot of it is triggering for the both of us. Sometimes, when we feel that, we have to take a step back. But today, and we're usually very involved with our politics also. Changing laws is important. And today something happened that triggered me and kind of like brought me back to uh, why we started talking about women, and took me back to a time where I had certain things happen to me for various reasons. So when you're in a relationship, whether you're a woman or a man, you really have to get to know your person before you involve yourself on the most intimate level. And I say this because my daughter had a friend. Her friend got married. Her friend let her know that she was being abused and in a closet hiding. She had been beaten up the night before. The arguments don't matter. They could be because somebody's coming home late or you're seeing certain patterns you don't like and you argue, you know? And the thing I should want to say to people is, if you're not happy in the relationship, if you feel that somebody is overbearing and there's just no fixing it, walk away. You're doing that person a favor. You're doing them a huge favor. Just walk. I don't care if it's a woman abusing a man, walk out of his life. He doesn't need it. If it's a man abusing a woman, walk out of her life. I'm going to go into the intimate details of me again. I have been dragged by my hair. I have been punched in the face. I have been choked. That's why my abuser was arrested, for choking me. If my son didn't come down, I could have been dead. I don't know. He sat on top of me and on my hands. I'm a big girl. But when you're in that state, I think shock comes to mind. I think the case of Shanae Watts. Chris Watts has admitted to killing his wife and daughters. Okay, he has many confessions up until about 2 years ago, and that was in 2018. He had no reason to confess to them unless he did them, which he did. It was proven he did. They asked him, why didn't your wife fight back? Because there was some kind of scientific evidence of during the autopsy why she didn't fight back. He said, I think she was praying. I'm going to shut my phone off 1 second. I think she was praying. She looked like a very strong girl, right? Somebody would think she'd fight back. Maybe she couldn't. Maybe somebody was holding her hands down. Maybe he had help. Some believe he did. Maybe he did it all by himself. In my case, the person choked me. It's called a misdemeanor, by the way. And a lot of these cases are private. If you try to look them up, they're not public. They don't give you the public details. But that's what happened in my case. Arrested twice. State police and the local police arrested him. Okay. I have a restraining order right now, which will last me probably another 6 months. And then unless he does something again, he's walking around free, right? Because unless I was dead, then they would have done something more to him. But because I didn't die, it's a misdemeanor. Again, I'm going to go through it again. I never called the police the first years of my abuse. The arguments were usually, yes, about women. The argument can be, were you scorned? It doesn't matter if a woman's scorned or she's mad. If somebody's cheating on you, and I'll guarantee you, if you're a man and your woman's cheating on you, you're going to be a little upset, okay? None of that calls for physical abuse. If you feel you're not happy, walk the hell out. This is a girl in her 20s, happened today. Let my daughter know. she was being abused, she was in the closet, she was in this or that. I'm not going to go into name names, talk about where this happened. No, I won't do that. What I will tell you is that we immediately called the police, which she didn't want. The person was arrested, and I don't know what's going to happen from there. That's up to a judge. She's a young girl. She was afraid. Well, like I say, if you're not happy, you're doing the person a favor, walk away. Nobody has to stay with anyone. Nobody has to be in a relationship. You don't like it. I don't care if you don't like the person's features, if you don't like the way they speak, if you don't like, don't be with them. The person will cry and get over it. Okay? But no room for abuse. If you're a man abusing a woman, no room for it. If you're a woman abusing a man, no room for it. Okay? I'm not going to go into the identity lingo that everybody else tries to, because I don't care if you're a man that transitioned into a woman, if you're a woman that transitioned to a man, whatever. If you consider yourself female now, then you're female. I'm talking to women and men. You consider yourself whatever you want to. I just can't with that. I don't even want to go there. As long as you're old enough to make that decision for yourself, I respect it. I always debated for the children who aren't old enough. And when your frontal lobe's not developed till you're 26, you're not old enough to transition. And no parent or CPS or anybody should, I don't even know how judges do it, to allow a child to go under the knife and change when that child is going to change their mind over and over. But that's another abuse and in my opinion. It's America. We have opinions. We like some laws, we don't like some laws. You vote for some laws to go in, you don't vote for others to go in. It is an opinion. And it is not against the law to have an opinion. I have one on abuse. I've used the word forgiveness a lot of times, and I do. I forgive my ex. I do, right? But forgiveness is for me, so I can move on and have a healthy relationship. I've had exes that have not abused me, that things did not work out, because I dated after, and obviously after I've been married, because if you're an adulterer, or even if you're sleeping with a man who's married, or you're sleeping with a woman who's married, you're contributing to abuse, because that person will go home to their spouse and abuse them in your name for you. So you're an abuser yourself. If you want this guy so bad, or you want this woman so bad, and they got a spouse, guess what? Wait till they get a divorce. Okay? I mean, otherwise you're just a whore. And I'm sorry, my opinion. Again, you have a right to your opinion. I have a right to mine. Okay? If a man wants mini skirts up to your crotch and hooker heels, that's great. If a woman wants the same thing, a playboy who's cheating with you will cheat on you once he has you, right? If you are the mistress, or you are the guy, and the mistress, the lover, whatever, the boy toy, whatever it is, and that person is cheating on their spouse, well, guess what? Once they're with you and you irritate them, they'll cheat on you too. Because it's not about the team in this society. It's not like it was 30, 40 years ago where I have a wife, I have a husband, ups and downs, we're in it together. We need to fix it. No, there's none of that anymore. People have an attention span about 2 seconds, right? The next hooker who walks right by you with her hooker heels, that's where your eyes go. Or your boy toys, I'm not saying people have eyes. Of course, you see somebody attractive, you're going to notice, and women and men, the jealousy is a little stupid and very unattractive. So if there's somebody that's good looking, you're going to notice it, whether you're with somebody or not. But what you don't do is disrespect your spouse or your your partner. You don't do that. And if you want to, just get the hell out. You are doing them the biggest favor. I wish my ex did me that favor. I wish the moment he met her, he did me that favor, because he could say, well, I beat her because she was screaming at me, because I wanted him out. I wanted to kick him out. He decided to beat me. Because what they do is they try to silence you. And whether you're a woman abuser or a man abuser doesn't matter. The sex of the person doesn't matter. Yeah, it matters that they're abusing. So the abuser will always try to stifle you, right? Shut you up so that they can continue, especially if they have something to gain from being with you. That could be financial. It could be for a lot of reasons. So just leave. If you have a tendency to have a heavy hand, whether you're a woman or a man, leave. You are doing that person the biggest favor. This little girl now is being supported by the police, right? They're taking care of it. I'm sure they're setting her up somewhere because she has nowhere to go. I don't know the whole situation. I'm not even going to get into it, but that was my talk. But just don't do any. I'll tell you right now, I'd rather be by myself for the rest of my life than be with another abuser. I would. Or I'd really appreciate it, and everybody would, is if you do want to give a phone call, say, hey, honey, I'm out. Love you yesterday, but today something better came along. I'm out. Go. Do what you need to do. If you are sleeping with somebody who's married, you are just as much a cheater and an abuser as the person who is married. And it will happen to you eventually, because those people don't change their colors, Yeah. So I did, and I do, wanted to say that. So I want to read you some statistics. I find this very interesting. And it's the National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE. So it's 1-800-799-7233. 1-800-799-7233. Or 1-800-787-3224. Okay? So again, 1-800-799-7233 and 1-800-787-3224. I think Rob Valente is still the vice president for the National Domestic Violence Hotline. 1 in 4 reported that they would not call the police in the future. Why would 1 out of 4 people not call the police? 1, they're afraid that the police won't believe them, or their abuser, such as mine, who had a friend in the police department, use that to their advantage, right? I have a friend, they'll never believe you, right? And then if the woman or man feels the police won't believe them, and they do open their mouth, then they're afraid of retaliation. This young person today did not want to call the police. But my daughter was strong and I supported her, and we called. There's lots of reasons people would be afraid. But like I've said, and I will say it every show with Cynthia, whether we're talking about politics or we're talking about a situation like this. The police, sorry, hot, that's what happens. Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. You hit 50 and then they're good. I've met many cops during the times, and it's been 5 years, almost 5, that I've had restraining orders and have had to go back into court. They've ended, and then if something occurs, you could go back in and they might grant you one, depending on, listen, the police have to do their investigations. The judges have to use their, their judgment to see, anybody can make accusations. And we live in a world, in all fairness, okay, where you have a right to be a strong woman. You don't have a right to lie on a guy because he cheated on you. So if you're going to go into court and you feel scorned, like men say, or women might say, or you're upset, it's, it sucks. It's a horrible thing, cheating. But you don't go into court, you don't put somebody in jail for it, okay? And so judges have to really decide what is going on, what are the events that happened, how did they occur, and, was somebody really abused, okay? And I'm sure that each case is so different and individual. There is not one story. There are many stories. Some of them sound very similar, but okay, so judges have to kind of make their discernment on that. But there are good cops. And I always say 98%. That's my own little statistic in my head, because I think that it's just crazy how people are cop haters now, and let's defund the police and let's get rid of them. And, I don't want to live in a non-policed place. And most men are good. Not men aren't all abusers, right? So I was abused by a man, but that doesn't mean all men abuse, right? So let's not, I have a father I love, I have sons I love, and I was just reading a case about a woman who killed her 3 kids, and everybody said how wonderful she was and how loving she was, and she had postpartum. There are cases where people are mentally ill, okay? So, but the judges have to discern who's mentally ill, who's really just not good and evil, who, what the events are. Okay, I don't know enough about that case to talk about it. It's horrible. The 3 babies are dead. No, 2 babies, I'm sorry, are dead. One is fighting, I guess, for his life, and he's alive, thank God. And, the husband did everything he could. Good husband, started working from home, try to support her as much as he can. That's all proven. He left for 25 minutes and she murdered the babies and tried to jump out of the window in that time. She survived, and she's in the hospital, and I don't know enough about that case, and I don't want to really go into it too much because I'd rather know what I'm talking about. And those are the only facts I do know about it. And I know that postpartum was involved, and that's a horrible thing. And when she comes to her senses, the horrible guilt that she's going to feel, I just don't understand it. And so I have to kind of read more into it. There are cases of women who abuse men. Okay. And I don't want to make this a channel where, I was abused, so I hate all men. That's not true. I don't. I love men. I do. I love my sons. I love my father. I love my grandparents. I had a great grandfather. I had a great Italian grandfather, my Poppy Eddie. I love men. Men are good. Police are good. And you're taking a few that are bad. What happened to Floyd was horrible. Excessive force, undeniably, he was murdered. Get it. Okay, aside from the fact that he was no angel and he held a knife up to a pregnant woman, her stomach. No angel, but sad nonetheless, because police have to hold some control when they're working. I understand the adrenaline, but they've got to be in control. Okay, they're holding a gun. They need, they have to have it all together up here, right? So they should have arrested him and let the laws take care of what was happening if he was committing a crime. And again, on that note, I don't know. I do believe he was murdered. I do believe they're paying the price for that. They're in jail, those police, as rightfully so. They murdered somebody. You don't murder somebody. You put them away, right? But like I've said, if somebody holds a knife up to a cop, they have every right to pull out their gun. Every right, right? You're going to go threaten somebody and threaten somebody's life. They've got children at home. They got wives at home. They got husbands at home. I mean, come on, it's common sense. Go live in a non-police era. And the fights with the blacks and the whites, that's all between that's all for voting purposes. That's it. That's all it's for. It's to separate us, make us hate each other, and right? If you separate people, you can control them. And so, yeah. But I wanted to tell you, this hit me hard, this girl today, and I don't know her, but I couldn't imagine. And again, I feel sorry for this kid's mother, because the guy's mother, because it's not the parents' fault when your kids do something that's wrong. I always say, God loves even my enemies, right? My ex, who abused me physically, punched me in the face, dragged me by my hair, choked me. I mean, God doesn't love me more than him. God loves even his sick children, even his children that are bad. I don't have to love them. I don't have to invite them into my life. And like I said, when you forgive somebody, people forgive murderers, right? Murdered family members. It's not for them, it's for you, so that you can go on and function in life and not be a basket case and not hate on everyone. Like I said, I don't hate men. I love men. I'm sorry. I think men are great. I think women are great. I don't think you need to be a man to be a strong woman. Women compete too much. Like, oh, we're in a man's world now. We're going to get them. We're going to rip their balls off. You have these women teaching their little girls, yeah, who has the balls? You do. It's like, it's stupid. Teach her to be a strong woman. She doesn't have to be a man. We're different, different strengths, different ways of communicating, and either or are good. But if you are a man or a woman who is cheating on your spouse, get the fuck out. Get out of your marriage. Do them a favor. You're not doing them any favors unless you're staying there because you don't want them to financially get half of what they deserve. Then that's different. Then you're just a pig. And the person that you're cheating with, you're going to do it to them, whether you're a woman or a man. If you are cheating on your spouse, get the fuck out of your marriage and do that person a favor. But you don't hit them. You don't lay a hand on them. You don't threaten them. You just don't do those things. There's no reason for it. Because if somebody doesn't want you, somebody else will. And if that person doesn't want you, somebody else, move on. Rejection, it hurts. I'm not saying it doesn't. Right? Of course it does. It hurts everyone. But, be a big guy or girl about it and go, their loss, and move the hell on. Because begging somebody to be with you who doesn't want to be with you is senseless. If they want to leave, they're doing you a favor. Get up, brush yourself off, and move on. And you're not going to fix them. If they're sick and you really believe they're mentally ill and they won't go for help, and you've gone to their family, I have, and they don't help them, leave, run, let their family handle them. You don't need it. Walk away. Walk away from people who gaslight you, okay? Who tell you you're crazy. The police will never believe you, okay? Because my ex did that to me over and over and over again. And it was usually after I'd gotten a good beating. And I'm talking about a physical beating. So you have to be strong enough to say no more. Get to a phone. Don't call family first, call the cops. 911. Give them your street address first. Who's calling? 75, bum. 68, bum. 5, whatever your address is. If you don't know where it is, make sure your location services are on and let them know. I think they can track you anyway. I'm so-and-so. I'm scared for my life. OJ's wife, dead. Shanann Watts, dead. And there were videos, years and years, of him being a great father and a great husband. But he murdered, not only did he murder his 2 little girls, 4 and 2, he made the older one watch him murder the younger one before she died. She fought for her life, the 4-year-old. Then he took their little bodies, 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and he shoved them into an 8-inch hole. That's what he did. And he smothered them both with their baby blankets, right? After putting them in crude oil, in a big oil tank of crude oil. So when they were being rescued out of the crude oil, well, they were dead. They weren't rescued. It was just a recovery at that point. Their skin was falling off. 4 and 2. He found Jesus now. He plays basketball and gets 3 meals a day in jail and recreational time. That's what he gets. His mother gets to visit him. His father gets to visit him. His siblings get to visit him. His sister, actually. But Shanann's parents don't get to visit her or talk to her or watch her age. They don't. Yeah. So walk away. You don't love someone, walk away. You don't like somebody, walk away. You don't want to hear somebody, walk away. Like I said, I believe in Jesus. I pray to Jesus every day. You don't like Jesus? So be it. Turn me off, because I love Jesus. I won't deny him for none of you. Yeah. Believe in whatever you want to believe. Be who you want to be. Transition into whoever you want to be. If you're old enough, at least. 26 years old. Go do whatever the hell you want. Don't do it to a child. They can't make up their mind. Now you have all these videos on children who are regretting their sex change and they can never have children, these women. They want to transition back, but they'll never be able to get pregnant. You know, you hear these stories, you watch their videos, they regret it because they weren't old enough and they weren't able to make that decision slowly, because that's a huge decision to make. And it's not a wrong or a right one. It's not for me to say, and nobody knows what God agrees with and doesn't agree with. We know what the Bible says, and I get it, and I respect the Bible, I do. But after all, we're all God's children, and so we need to start acting like it. But yeah, this girl is probably heartbroken, probably scared, maybe angry that the police were called. Person's in jail, will be in front of a judge on Monday. But he was screaming at her, he wants a divorce. Well, he's beating her, throwing things. And I remember that. I remember being her. And, you know, she's a kid. She's in her 20s, you know, and I'm hoping what comes out of this is she gets to, the cops will definitely probably put her with the YWCA. Get her into therapy and help her with her shelter, whatever that looks like. So call your cops, black, white, yellow, green, I don't care who they are. Call your cops, okay? It's not about race. Everybody's so, I'm sorry, I don't have a tissue on me. Everybody's so wrapped up with race today. Get the hell over it. It's a skin color. It doesn't matter what color you are. And none of us are better than the other one. I'm not better than a black woman, okay? Black woman's not better than me. We're just all people and we're trying to survive. And so just get up in the morning, try to do the best you can, and that's it. But I don't care if you're a woman, don't abuse a guy, okay? And if you want to, I mean, get the hell, let him live, go. You know what? They should put all these angry people on like an island together and let them all, you know, do whatever they need to do. But there's no room for it. You know, you have children dying at the hands of adults. You just sickening things. It's like, you know, just be a decent person. That's what you have to do. Try. And if you don't like me, walk away from me. You don't like somebody, walk away from them. You don't love your spouse, get a fucking divorce. You are doing them the greatest favor ever because they will find somebody who loves them. And if they don't, they'll learn to love themselves. I love myself first. I don't give a shit if that sounds conceited. I don't care. And if somebody else doesn't love me, that's fine. You know, you want people to like you, but if they don't, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter. Realize if you're sleeping with a married man or you're sleeping with a married woman. Those people usually go back to their spouses and abuse them horribly. I'm not saying always physically, emotionally, right? Because now they're angry. They can't be with their toy, right? You're in their way. And so if you are that type of a person who likes to do that stuff, realize you are contributing to abuse most of the time. May not be physical, maybe not enough to send anybody to jail because you don't want to. Listen, cheating is not against the law, okay? People cheat. So they're assholes, they're jackasses. Women cheat today, men cheat. It's not a man thing, it's a people thing. Over-sexualized America, right? Women walk around half naked and then go, oh, don't look at me. Well, why are you dressed with your ass out of your skirt? Because you want somebody to look at you. You're not dressed like that because you don't want people to look, right? It's not for you. Oh, I love watching my ass out of my skirt. You can't even see your ass. So why are you doing it? It's for somebody else. But recognize that sometimes, even though It does not give anybody a right to abuse you or to be cruel. You are getting negative attention. You're not getting positive attention. Less is more. I don't give a shit what anybody says. And if you are putting that out, somebody's going to look at it in a certain way. And that is just history and the way things go. Like it or don't like it. Okay? You're not more beautiful because you're covering your nipples and the rest of your breast is showing. It just means you're more excessive. You're reachable in a negative way. So do as you please, just do it respectfully. Like I said, I have gay friends, I love gay people. Don't go around naked, not in New York City or anywhere else where there are little children. Go to an island where everybody else is naked and that's fine. Same goes for heterosexuals. You know, you want to be naked, you want to do whatever the hell you want to do it. Just place and time, know where the hell you are. Am I near the American Doll Factory where there are little children? Maybe I shouldn't be naked a block away from there, right? Know where you are. Figure it out. But like, try to have some moral standard. Not everybody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. You know, everybody like flunks sometimes, fails, falls, doesn't get it right. But like, try, right? And I'm praying for this little girl and all the little girls and the little boys. Listen, I don't know the statistics today, but I know a couple of years ago, whatever. Statistically, I think more men are sex trafficked. Oh my God, I can't speak. There's sex trafficking going on with young men more than young women. I think so. I mean, everybody assumes it's women, but there are boys. Look at I hate bringing this up, but some churches, look what happens and the cover-ups and stuff like that. It's just awful. What you do to these young people, if you are a pedophile, is you kill the rest of their lives. They're you know, you've destroyed their ability to have self-love, the therapy that they have to go through for the rest of their lives, just to carry on with a normal life. And it can be done with the right help. Obviously it can be done, but you know, just try to do the right thing, you know. I don't know. You can't teach somebody morals and values. They either have it or they don't. You know, don't go to court, don't lie. And I've seen too much of that. You know, my first divorce especially. Don't do it. You know, it's not right. It's cruel and it's you know, like I said, it's just not good. But yeah, pray for this little girl, but also pray for your police. You know, there are police that are not nice, but the majority, in my own statistic, 98%, I really do. I think it's so few, it's almost no, but there's so few, but you hear about the few because they, oh my God, I can't think of the word. They go viral. The minute a cop does something wrong, it goes viral. Very few stories go viral of them doing good things. And they do, the majority, they won't care if you're black, you're white, who you are. They don't care if you're an immigrant or not. They don't care if you have your papers or you don't. If you're in trouble, they'll help you. Most of the time, you know? So cops are good. Don't take out weapons to cops. It's a stupid thing. And they should protect themselves. They should have a right to take out their gun and say, hey, you're not killing me, buddy. They should have that right? To protect themselves. Don't go threatening cops. If a cop is mishandling you, get in the court and say it. Put a complaint against that cop. But majority of cops are good. And I'll always stick up for them. I want to live in a police nation. The cops today were wonderful. And they were all male, by the way. They were all male, concerned. You even, when she called up on the phone, I was sitting next to her, and you heard the cop and his tone, and he was talking to the other cops while we were on the phone, and the concern, right? Maybe he had kids at home, maybe he had friends, or, a wife, whatever. But he really did go out of his way. He didn't ask, is she Black? He didn't ask if she was white. He didn't say, he listened, he took down the details, and you heard even though they're very steady and they do their job and they ask the right questions, and you have to go slow, when a cop asks you a question, just answer the damn question. Just answer it. Don't get nervous. They're not bad people. They cannot get emotional. They have to keep it together, because whoever's calling in 911, they're emotional. The cop has to be able to help you. So they have to hold some kind of, I don't want to use the word stoic, but they have to be together. They have to be sensible. They have to have their thinking helmet on to kind of try to decipher what the story is and what's going on and who's in it and, what happened and the details, right? Put all the pieces together and figure things out. But they really did. They were all men. There might have been a woman there, but I didn't see her. And they were all really kind and respectful. And so moral of the story is, you don't love somebody, get the fuck out, walk away. Do them a favor. Whether you're a woman or a man, do your wife a favor, do your children a favor, do your husband a favor, walk the fuck out. You got a lover, you got a problem, take your problem outside and leave. But don't abuse people. It's just wrong on every level. Let everyone go on with their lives and be happy. No reason for any of that shit. And when 1 out of 4 women say, I will not call the police again, right? Some of them feel that they're not being heard. So if you're a cop, listen. Let them know you hear them. Unless there's reason to believe or you find out through a detail that they are lying, listen. If a man comes to a cop and says, I'm being abused by my wife, don't look down on him. I'm sure there's so many men who are afraid to say, I'm abused. They are. Listen, there was no reason for this young girl to be afraid. There was no reason for her to hide. It's just none. And so yeah, it took me back. I'm going to say it again. It's okay to fall in love, but it's also okay to know that you made a mistake. And if you've made that mistake, walk away. If somebody's abusing you, you can't fix it. And love is not enough. It's just not. Not to stay in a place of discomfort. It's not enough. not to stay in a place that's going to break you down as a person or stifle you. It's not enough. Okay. All these things, love is enough, love it. No, it's not. It's a huge component to whether you stay with somebody or not, but it's not enough. Like the person, be their friend, somebody you want to protect and hear and listen to and love. You don't want to listen to somebody. Don't stay with them. They irritate you. What are you picking them for? Don't waste their time. You know? Yeah. That's what I wanted to come on and kind of like do this show about. Cynthia and I aren't always going to do shows together. We love each other. We're very good friends. We have so much fun on our show on Wednesday nights, and sometimes we can't do it. You know, we have lives and things happen with her and things happen with me. We did a show. We haven't had time to upload it. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But, hold on. Okay, hold on. Oh, it is. Give me a second. I'm back. So, yeah, I wanted to kind of put that out there and let you know it's not okay. Don't do it. Just go on your own way. And on that note, anything, you know, be good to the people around you, love people around you, have an opinion, watch At Home with Cynthia and Maria. So we get like a couple of our videos, like 30,000 views or 3,000 views or 4,000 views. And that's when you promote them. When you don't promote them, you get 15 views. When you promote them, you get a lot of, a larger audience. And so we have a lot of views, but you have to hit the notification bell, like and share, okay? Subscribe, big one, because you may not agree with us, but at least there's room for opinions, and that's okay not to agree with us. It's okay not to like the fact that I'm a Republican. It's okay if I'm an independent or a Democrat. You have to respect each other. And if there's something you don't like, tell us, that's what America's about. It's about opinions. There was a time that Democrats and Republicans could be friends. It's a really sad time when you can't have a political opinion. That's really sad. Tell us if you feel that we're wrong on something, say it. That's okay. And but yeah, if you are an abused woman, I'm going to read that number to you again, and I'll try to link it down below. I don't know if I'm going to try to put this video up tonight. Hold on. Oh, there it is. So it's 1-800-799-SAFE, 1-800-799-SAFE. So 1-800-799-7233 or 1-800-787-3224. Okay. That's my dog. Sushi, stop. Okay, stop. Okay, my dog growls at thin air and then it just spooks me. Just don't do that. Sushi, stop. Stop, honey. You're scaring me. Really. Okay. Anyway, I hope everybody has a good night and, pray for this young lady and pray for anybody who's being abused, whether it's a man or a woman. And just because women fought for women's rights and, women's lib and all that stuff, doesn't mean you don't carry yourself as a respectable woman. Doesn't mean they fought for our rights to wear mini skirts up to our crotches. That's not what women's lib was about. People need history lessons, and I'm not going to sit here and teach everybody the right. Go look up history. Read. But if you don't want certain attention, then you have to act a certain way. okay? And that's just the way of it. You know, my opinion. If you have a different opinion and you think, hey, I couldn't wear my skirts up my ass, then go right ahead. You know, I'm just saying, don't do it around kids. Have some dignity around children. Okay, whether you're a heterosexual or you're gay, I don't care. Have a parade, have clothes on. Nobody has to see your goods. I'm not interested, and I'm sure the children on the streets of New York aren't interested, or wherever they are in the world. So, you know, be appropriate, like just simple things. I'm not a perfect person. I make mistakes all the time, but I try to have a certain guideline, and I catch myself and I correct myself and whatever. You know, just have guidelines for yourself. Just say, you know, what kind of life do I want to have? What kind of people do I want around me? And if you want a bunch of cheaters around you, well, then that's what you're going to get. But the company you choose, and I've learned this the hard way sometimes, is the company that's going to take you down, you know? So, you know, if somebody is cheating on their wife or cheating on their husband, I'm going to say it one more time. Get the fuck out of your marriage. Take your wedding ring off. Not just when you're having sex with somebody else, but take it off for good and walk out. Don't waste that person's time. Everybody has a right to have a happy life. So if you're really happy screwing your cowboy or screwing your whore, go do that and save your wife. Don't let men or women gaslight you. Oh my God, they're awful. Oh my God. Well, don't stay with them then. I'm not talking about like abused women, because that's a different story. This girl wasn't going to call the police at all. She was afraid to call the police. But I'm talking about just regular. If somebody is cheating on you and they're gaslighting you and they're, you know, abusing you emotionally, not enough to call the cops. You don't call the cops for stupidity and cheating. But walk out of your marriage. Or if you can, if he's not abusive, or if she's not abusive, or if you are the person who's abusing, who is gaslighting that person because you need to project what you're doing onto them, you know what? Sit down with yourself, figure out your life, and stop fucking up somebody else's. Get out. If you are the person that they are cheating with, you are just as bad as the married person. Get the fuck out. Because that person who's cheating with you is abusing their spouse. Guaranteed. If it's not physical, it's emotional. Because their spouse catches on after a while. And then obviously there are going to be fights. And there's going to be gaslighting, right? Because you don't want to get caught if you're cheating. So you're going to abuse that other person. Don't cheat on your fucking spouse. Don't be married then. And if you are cheating, get out. Go live your life with your happy whore or cowboy, whatever you're doing. But don't do that. But again, women, men, do not take your spouse to court for cheating. It is not a fucking crime. It's not. You know, people can cheat on you. If they cheat on you 100 times and you're allowing it, it happens. Okay. Abuse is different. Cheating is different. Some would call it abusive, like emotional abuse, but you know, it's not a crime. So if your spouse is cheating on you, don't waste the fucking cop's time. Okay? Don't. Go to a therapist, let her talk sense into you, and walk the hell out of your marriage. If you are the cheater, whether you're a woman or a man, you're an asshole, you're a jackass, go with your whore or your cowboy or whatever you want, but stop wasting somebody else's life who couldn't find somebody who appreciates them. And that's my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean I'm wrong. It's my opinion. I think I'm right, but everybody thinks they're right. So anyway, I'm going to go. I want to wish everybody a good night, and subscribe to Cynthia Maria, at Home with Cynthia Maria, and yeah, and watch some of our old videos because they're fun and they're it's just two girls having a good time talking about politics. But, again, it's our opinion. You have an opinion. Make a comment. That's all. And we'll address it. And that's it. Just try to respect everybody. And pray for this young lady who now has a chance to get into a healthy relationship. Once, unfortunately, for abused women or men, they have to break before they get better. I mean, totally break. And you have to. It's the only way that you can rebuild. And I pray that the cops stick with her and help her progress to a healthy life, right? With somebody who appreciates her and doesn't scare her that she has to hide in a closet. Okay. Mwah. Bye. Oh, God. I got to get my new glasses too. These are the ones I don't like. I like them. They're kind of cool. They're kind of, but I like my new ones. They're my favorite now. And they take out the glare and everything, and they're really good glasses. But I have to go pick them up. I don't have them yet. So, but I like these two. These are kind of cool. They got that like little wing going on. Okay, bye.